Today I'm going to go through more of a relaxation sequence. So these are for the mamas that feel like they can't get a good inhale, or they can't breathe, or they're anxious, or just tight and restricted or stressed. We're gearing up for a deployment. It's the holidays. We're trying to finish everything up before we do our celebrations this week. So I've been just real wired lately, and I can tell, that I'm not breathing really well. I can tell that my neck is really tight, my shoulders aren't moving well. And if you pay attention to your body, it'll tell you what you need. It'll tell you if you need some strengthening, or need some stretching, or need to chill out and work on your breathing, maybe meditate a little bit. That is my big message today, is just listen to your body, because you might find that just slowing down a little bit and working on something as simple as your breathing can make a huge difference. So today I'm going to go through some of my favorite stretches to improve my breathing. So if you think about the nervous system, when we are in a fight or flight response, or using our sympathetic nervous system, which a lot of us are if we're under constant stress or tired, or any number of things. So we get into this extension because when you go into if you're using your sympathetic nervous system, certain muscles activate to run, or to react to whatever the stressor is. So that's where a lot of people say, my neck is always tight, I carry my stress here. Really, you're overusing your sympathetic nervous system, and you need to calm things down a little bit. You need to breathe. You need to, balance yourself out. So we're going to use air to stretch, and that's kind of a different concept. It's a postural restoration concept. We gear all of our therapy around breathing, because breathing is the most functional thing you do. You do it all day, every day, and a lot of people are really bad at it, ironically. So we're going to use air, because when we breathe in, air occupies space in our thorax, in our abdominal area, we call it the thorax, in your core. And so if you channel that air and get into certain positions, you can make it work, for you in stretching. So we're going to start by a modified child's pose. This is a postural restoration exercise. So you're kind of just getting up in a ball as much as you can. I tend to overflex my mid-spine here, my thoracic spine. So, you don't want to do that. You want to inhale between your shoulder blades and try to get air in those lower ribs and get that tuck to stretch your lower back. So, because I don't have a mirror, I'm gonna do it the best I can, but you're going to think about pushing through your elbows, pushing through your shoulder blades, doing a tuck, and just breathing. If your neck needs some support, you can, use your hands. So you're going to inhale through your nose. Feel that stretch between your shoulder blades, and exhale as you go into a deeper tuck and really get those ribs up and in, so you're compressing all your air out. We're trying to channel that air into your upper back. If this is too hard on your neck, you can just go into a regular child's pose and rest your forehead on the floor. I want you to see how long you can blow out. So that's your goal, is to blow out all the air every time. Really slow and controlled breaths. Think about expanding your rib cage out so you can stretch those intercostals.
and getting all the air out on the outside. All right, so I'm going to reach further with my right hand and really work on that right side. All right, I want you to switch hands and stretch the left side, and you're going to take a mental note of which side feels tighter. So we're going to do a couple breaths here. Trying to expand out and blow all your air out. All right, whatever side felt tighter to you, left or right, I want you to go back to that side and do one more set.
All right, good. Now, you might need support of something heavy, like a railing or, a door frame. I don't know, this might be heavy enough. So you're gonna get into a really low squat. And I want you to grab something low, so like the leg of a table, just anything around the house that's heavy. You're gonna put the weight through your heels. Okay, so we're going after the lowest part of your rib cage and trying to expand there. We're usually pretty poor at getting air in our back at that point because of the pull of our diaphragm and our psoas and our quadratus. It pulls that part of the spine forward. So I want you to, that low part of your rib cage, you're going to try to expand on your inhales. Okay, so and between your shoulder blades. Keep the weight through your heels. You don't want to be on the balls of your feet. Weight through the heels will help you stay in that flexion. It will help you keep your tuck. It'll help you get the air where you want it to go. All right, so now that we've opened up the back between the shoulder blades and we're working on that lower rib cage, now we need to open up some chest because we get really tight through that chest with scalenes and your sternocleidomastoid that gets they're just ramped up all the time because of our poor breathing and our stress, and our pecs get tight, we carry our shoulders forward, so we need to open all that up. So you're gonna put your head on the floor if you can. Support your neck wherever you need to. And then your shoulders down are going to be elevated just a couple inches, max, like 1 to 2 inches. So you're pushing your weight through your heels. You're going to roll your pelvis back so you feel those low, deep abs. You want your ribs to come down and in. And then those shoulder blades, right now my shoulders are really forward. Those shoulder blades need to roll back. And you're going to think you're in the shape or a T position. So you're putting those hands straight out. So weight through the heels, feel your abs, you're pulling those ribs down and in. And then those shoulder blades, you want to be flat as you can. So let those shoulders hang back. And you're going to inhale and try to channel it into your chest. Exhale all the air out. You should feel probably a little bit of hamstring, maybe some inner thighs. You want your abs on. Your sternum, your chest bone, you want that to move. If your sternum never moves when you breathe, those top ribs get really, really, really tight. So when you inhale, that sternum should raise up a little bit. When you exhale, it drives down and in. And that's where you're going to get the stretch of the front of your neck and your chest, is when that sternum goes down and in. Couple more breaths. Okay, so now that we took care of, what we would call the sagittal plane, forwards and backwards, we want to do some rotation because that's where your ribs are really going to move. So you're going to lay on your side, stack your shoulders, your head's down, you're 90 degrees in your hips and knees, and you want these hips to stay right on top of each other. Don't let them collapse into your abs or collapse forward or back. They need to be stacked. You want to think long neck. Don't let those upper traps engage. You're going to inhale and then just rotate back. So you want to think of rotation through here. You don't want your arm, you don't want to be here and then let your arm go back, because then you're just stretching your shoulder capsule. So you want to think thorax rotation, and then that arm is just an extension of the shoulder joint. So you don't want that arm way beyond where your shoulder lines up, if that makes sense. All right, so when you inhale, I want you to feel those ribs stretch, that air goes in those intercostals, or stretches those intercostals, and then let all of it out. You also might feel some chest stretch, which is good. You want that shoulder blade to be down and in, so that there's a chance that that air might go in the tight chest. If you hold your shoulder up here, you're tightening everything here, and the air's not going to be able to get there. So inhale. Now we're going to go into a couple more active rotations. Okay, so I'm going to inhale and exhale. Let your neck follow your thorax. And you want to keep that tucked the whole time so that your abs are controlling what's happening. So let's do that on the other side. You're stacked in the shoulders and the hips. We're just going to open and breathe. Let's do 3 or 4 breaths. If you feel yourself drop every time you do an exhale, that's good. That means things are letting go and you're getting more range of motion. All right, let's do a couple active.
So you should not feel any excessive stretching or pain through your spine. So keep that in mind. We're trying to open your chest on the inhale. All right. So now I'm going to have you sit with your legs straight. You're going to cross one leg over the other. We're going to do some rotation stretching here. So your arm is in line with your front foot. You're trying to get that knee over, and then your back hand is in line. So you're as straight as you can be. That's going to depend on your flexibility though. So you want to try to channel air into that right chest if your right arm is back. And then you're just using your left arm as kind of the force to push you into that right rotation. So let's just breathe here. You want to find your sit bones and sit tall. Feel that air go into your rib cage. And then let it all out. And we're going to switch. Cross the other leg over. Now we're trying to get the left chest to open. Try to glide that left shoulder blade back and down. Okay, one more side stretch we're going to do. So this might be too intense to lay on the foam roll. You can also take the pillows and lay on a few pillows. So you're going to put the whatever you're laying on underneath you, and think of that hip back that way and your arm the opposite way. So we're trying to stretch that whole side, trying to get those ribs to open. Still want to think of that rib cage opening in all directions, but because of your position, it's going to open more to the side, which is good. We want that. You might get some lat stretch here, a good side stretch. All right, do once on the other side. Okay, so you're lengthening that whole side. You want to think your heel is going away from your fingers. And this is a good position to compare which side is tighter, left or right. Most people are going to have a tighter right side, but just knowing your own asymmetries and how things feel can help you to get more balance, because you just do double sets on the side that feels tighter so that you try to balance things out. So hopefully after that, after working on your breathing, after thinking about that rib expansion, your spinal mobility, hopefully you feel like you can breathe better, you feel lighter, you feel less stressed, your shoulders are not as tight and up, they can relax a little bit more mobility there. Maybe you can rotate your neck a little better. All those things are great. So take time to take care of yourself. Make sure that you manage your stress, because if you have any underlying pain or dysfunction anywhere, stress will only make that worse. So it's huge to manage your stress when you're trying to rehab something, but just for general health.
Stress can do really bad things to every system, every part of your body. So it's, we live in a crazy busy world, and we just need to put on the brakes every once in a while, assess how we feel, and take care of that so we can, stay more balanced. Have a good day. Stay balanced.